People are very disloyal nowadays. I actually really look for a nice guy.
Does a high value man have a roster?
I don't think there's a scientific answer to that question.
Yeah, up to 3, you should know by then whether or not you want to pursue more or not.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so-
good, that's good. Because men don't approach women here, they want us to chase them. So I don't know what is in the air in California. If you're a guy and you're not coming up to a woman and talking to her, isn't that good?
I love it.
That's a good one. But you're actually not a traditional man, so change it up. Thank you.
He DM'd me. Damn, girl, you got a double wide surprise. I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere.
It's heinous. It's very Peter Pan syndrome.
So you're saying we're bad at it since we think it's
No,
heinous?
no, no,
You
no.
said we're bad at it.
You meet a girl, you get her number, it's like a guaranteed date, and she's like, when are we gonna be official?
Like, why don't you actually have morals or something like that?
I'm not ready to date.
And that's a red flag.
Absolutely.
So my next question is,
You're not getting a phone call back or a text message back if you don't tip more than $20.
how many times a week do you guys get approached in person? What's a good example of being approached?
None of them get my number.
It is personal, so I understand your guys' side. Your Instagram doesn't do anything for me. Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, he gotta be cute though.
F the phone, F the social media. Like, come get to know the real me. You know.
yeah, that was good.
The fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I've been swerving through the city in and out of lanes.
Hey Renee, so how's your dating life?
Shit.
That's a common answer. So why? What can make it better?
I think a lot of men nowadays have Peter Pan syndrome, especially in San Diego, and it being a military city makes it very challenging for serious women trying to date and just have a family and normal life. So that's
Yeah.
been a struggle, being more mature than a lot of the men, even older men.
Right. So literally the last girl I interviewed said the same thing, the Peter Pan syndrome. Guys just run around like children. And I think that's the case. There's so many options out here. Everyone's just bouncing around. And the temptation is pretty great to just go from one girl to the next and not really settle down or commit. Is that kind of your experience?
Yeah, and I would say that social media has made it particularly damaging as well because, and I'm sure it goes both ways, but speaking as a woman and just men kind of by nature being more lustful, having more options on Instagram and always looking for the next best thing rather than realizing that they may have the best thing of their life in front of them. And I think it's led to a lot of infidelity, and it's become just almost like a cultural expectation that people are very disloyal nowadays.
What stands out about a man to you that gets your attention?
So kind of a misconception, you know, that phrase, nice guys finish last. I actually think that might be the case for not nice girls, but I actually really look for a nice guy. So somebody who still tries to court a woman and be a gentleman and will just like invest in getting to know you as opposed to getting to know, again, every girl around, everybody on Instagram. So just somebody who comes off as very sincere, genuine, and loyal, which sounds very simple, but it's very rare these days.
So what do you think about a guy having like a roster? Like, does a high value man have a roster? How should he navigate that if he has options because he is a high value man? What should that look like in your mind?
I think it's to be expected that any high value man or woman would have options available to them. However, I think that it's to be expected that if you're actually genuinely trying to get to know somebody and you're a good man, you know, let's say a high value man, but with good morals and husband material, you should get to know one girl at a time. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, that's okay. You can move on to the next, but you don't need to lead multiple women on to think that they will get something from you that they won't.
Right. So essentially, a high value man is going to have a lot of options, but a good man is going to just pursue you pretty much, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to entertain a bunch of women. At which stage should he make a decision to just pursue you? Is it after like the third day? Is there a certain date? Or do you expect him after date one to be like locked in, or is there a time frame?
I don't think there's a scientific answer to that question. I think that depends on a lot of circumstances and context, but I do think that maybe on average by the third date, if you guys have gotten that far and there's enough chemistry to make it there, the conversation should be on the table. And then, of course, exclusivity should just be something that both parties are willing to discuss. And again, kind of going back to one of the issues today is a lot of people don't want to commit. Even as they're getting to know somebody, they want to keep their options open. And I think that's really poisoned the dating scene.
Yeah, it's like the grass is always greener. I agree. I think 3 dates is enough to know if she's high quality enough that you should just lock in and pursue her, or if she's not, and you just let her know. But yeah, I don't believe in entertaining a bunch of women at the same time if you've gone on more than several dates with each one. Yeah, up to 3, you should know by then whether or not you want to pursue more or not. So, well, that was great. Renee, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Great answers, and have a great night. Stay safe. I love it. Cute little wave.
Hello, San Diego. I'm here with Colette.
Yes, that's my name.
Colette, we're here asking women about the dating scene in San Diego.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
good, that's good.
there's a lot of men out there that they find it difficult to approach women, and they don't know what to say, and they don't know what to do after. So there's a couple of things that we want to hopefully get cleared up for them.
Okay.
So, first question I have is, how many times do you get approached in a regular week?
Just like, in what environment? Like here
Any
or like
environment. Yeah,
Ooh, okay. So this is what I'll say. Can I take the mic?
please.
This is what I'll say. San Diego is different when it comes to men because men don't approach women here. They want us to chase them, which is so crazy to me. Even, I don't really go out too often, but when I do, barely do men come up to me and like offer to talk to me or offer to have a conversation and then carry out with a drink at the end. That's crazy to me. I'm from the Midwest. We don't do that here. So I don't know what is in the air in California, but people here are like very different than what I'm used to.
Okay.
So the traditional values here are very thrown off and they're not what they should be. And in my opinion, it's very odd to me if you're a guy and you're not coming up to a woman and talking to her and asking her, my friends are laughing at me, to have a conversation for like half an hour and then make a plan. You're doing it wrong. And then you're the one complaining that girls don't, my friends are making fun of me, that girls don't step up to the plate and aren't the woman that you want, but you're actually not a traditional man, so change it up. Thank you.
So your expectation in the Midwest is that men will go up to you,
Yeah.
get your number, more traditional, they'll ask you on a date,
Sure.
and that's kind of route, right? But you're saying that here in San Diego, you don't get a lot of men that come up to you. Something's different.
Yeah, something's different.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I think San Diego is a hotspot for just sitting and staying. So I don't think it's a place where people come to just settle down and do whatever it is. I think it's a midway place where people just come, hang out for like 2 or 3 years, then get up and go, and then settle down, in my opinion. Because
Yeah.
it's Southern California. It's always, yes, yes. It's always hot outside. It's always sunny, and it's a really big fitness scene here. So people are very lustful and just look at the outside and don't really consider what's on the inside.
Okay. So let's say a guy does come up to you, he gets your number, and he wants to take you on a date.
Okay.
What would be a good first date idea here in San Diego?
I honestly think just picking a girl up, coming up to her door, knocking on the door, being a human, and then taking her to a beach or something along the lines of being out in nature and just like kind of having a moment of getting to know each other. I don't think that taking her to a bar and having alcohol and drinking on the first date is something that is going to be valuable. It's okay to loosen up, but that's just not how they did it in the olden days. So it's just really simple. It's really simple, yeah.
How do you feel about the men that are brought up to pick women up and go to their door and bring flowers, but then when they do that, they get rejected because a lot of women have that mindset of, well, this is cheesier. It's just, you know, you're too much of a nice guy. How do you feel about that?
I think it's because women have an innate fear of love bombing, to be honest with you. If we're like given all of this stuff at first, any woman that rejects that is gonna think it's love bombing and gonna think it's a red flag. But I think that us women, that's our problem and our problem to fix. I think that women that have a problem with that nowadays, like, we either need to get past it or just kind of take it as like a sign and move forward slowly. I don't think you should ever deny someone that's doing that, and if you're doing it, it's your problem. It's the woman's problem. It is not the man's at all.
Now,
You know?
some men are told that when they approach a woman, they're not confident enough. And other men are told when they approach a woman that they're too cocky. Where's that fine line between confidence and cockiness?
I honestly think that it's the woman's interpretation of what the situation is. I think that if you're going to be too judgmental on a guy that's coming out of his way to talk to you, you're the problem. You're the problem. Like, put yourself into his perspective and think, it took a lot of courage for this man to come up to you. it took a lot of
Listen up.
like a moment of like, boys, should I do this? Should I do this? And them hyping you up to do it. I do think there's such a thing as too cocky and too forward.
Maybe borderline disrespectful.
Totally. Ladies, honestly, if a guy comes up to you and is super lustful and is like really talking about your outward appearance, that's a red flag. But if a guy comes up humbly, or humbly, we're gonna say that, that's someone you should go for. So chill out. Chill the fuck out. Yeah.
Now he gets your number.
Okay.
How long should he wait till he texts you? Should it be immediate? Should he wait the 3 days?
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
I would say like wait after you leave the interaction, just so you're not standing there texting the woman and making her feel comfortable. If you're a woman and like not actually wanting him, just wait till you're like out of sight from one another and then follow through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Is it? Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
The other part is if some women feel some sort of pressure or to reject a man, right? They feel
Yeah.
bad. How would you feel about a man, instead of asking for your number, asking you to take their number instead? That way you have the choice of whether or not to reach out to them.
So just so I understand, so as a woman, me getting the man's number.
So
Sorry.
I come up and I approach you, but instead of asking for your number, I ask you to take my number down.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would literally love that. I would think you were the shit. I would think you were super respectful. I would think that the ball is in my court. And if you're walking up to a woman, you should you should understand.
love the camera.
You should understand that the ball is in the woman's court, even if you walk up to the woman. So I think that's just a cherry on top, to be honest with you.
Love it.
I really. Isn't
Yeah,
that good?
I love it.
That's a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love it. Colette, thank you for your time.
Nice to
We
meet
appreciate
you.
it.
So fun.
Back to what we're doing. All right, you guys ready? And there's one. So, what was your name?
Angelina.
Angelina. So, we got more.
Okay.
Okay, Angelina and who?
Dixie.
Dixie. So, how's the dating scene out here? You guys in relationships? How's it going for you?
Oh, I'm happily in a relationship with her cousin.
I just got out of a situation.
Yeah, he was a
Okay.
hoe. We don't like him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He bought me a cat, gone. Now I'm
Oh, dang.
basically a single mother.
She's a single mother to a
So-
little gatita.
So, what can a guy do to stand out in the dating scene?
Just a very caring man. Does the basic, whatever, holds the door open for me, whatever. I'm not too picky.
Just a simple kind of gesture.
100%.
Would you rather be approached in person or have some guy reach out on an app or dating app, Instagram?
I think I'm very pro in person, 100%.
Me too. I would say the same, but I'm not gonna lie. Her cousin DM'd
Yeah.
me. Like it was like the craziest thing.
Hey,
but
so
like,
what did he DM you?
He DM'd me. Damn girl, you got a double wide surprise. I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere, but like we connected in person, and like he showed up in person in a way that no other man has ever showed up. So,
There
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for answering the questions. That was great.
Thank you.
Crushed it. Okay, so first off, what's your guys' names?
I'm Brooke.
I'm Justin.
And how's the dating scene been for you guys out here? Do you guys live here in San Diego?
Yes.
Do.
Yeah, we do.
Any feedback?
It's heinous.
Not it's heinous.
It is.
It's kind of awful, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Quite wretched.
that's a pretty common answer. So, what makes it bad and what would make it better?
Everyone's the same. No one has any original thoughts or opinions.
Intentions.
Yeah, or intentions.
Okay.
all.
Everyone's just looking for like right now type of stuff,
Yeah.
not like longevity or whatever, not like thinking of growing up. That's a big issue is a lot of people don't like to grow up.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of like family
Yeah.
goals or like more so just what's going to be fun today?
It's very Peter Pan syndrome.
I've heard that a lot actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of also like what's Instagram worthy, not like what's family oriented. Like you
Right.
said, you mentioned that or whatever. I feel like it's a lot of like, are we gonna look the hottest on Instagram?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case with SoCal in general. Everyone's trying to get their bag and, get that clout and all that. So it does make it hard. I think in San Diego especially, you're either really good at dating or you're really bad at it because it is kind of tricky.
So you're
But-
saying we're bad at it since we think it's
No,
heinous?
no, no,
He
no.
said we're bad at it.
Right. No, it's
I,
fine.
no, I mean like,
He's like, fuck.
He's like,
No,
"You're
well-
on track."
He's like, shit, I just called these
it's fine.
strangers out.
no, so when I
Yeah,
moved
I get
here,
it.
it's very different from like my small
is.
town that
Where
I
you
came
from?
Where are you from?
Grass Valley, California. So
Okay,
like it's
so-
up north, small town. Everyone's like super intentional. So you meet a girl, you get her number, it's like a guaranteed date, and she's like, when are we gonna be official? Here, everything moves so fast that I had to figure it out. So you kind of do figure it out, and then you go, okay, everyone's super flaky, and just because you have a great interaction doesn't mean it's going to like turn into something like a date or whatever. But so yeah, I guess for you, what would be a way somebody would stand out, get your attention, and then I'll ask you the same thing.
Ask for a date and actually follow up on it.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. Justin?
I think just be more genuine. I think everyone's, like I said, everyone's looking for the whole like social media lifestyle, and they're very quick to jump onto the next thing that they think is best, but it's like you're not even willing to give something a chance.
Right.
So it's like kind of like think through things beforehand. Yeah. I just think things through. You know.
Yeah.
Be more realistic. You're not gonna be young and beautiful forever.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, everyone thinks that they're going to be young and hot forever, so they're like just jumping from one hot thing to the other. And I'm like, why don't you like actually have morals or something like that?
And then like she's saying, the Peter Pan syndrome. Next thing you know, you're 35, 40, and you're like, I want to have kids someday.
But you're also
And it's
still,
these men that are like 35, 40 that are saying, I'm not ready to date.
but they're
I'm still
also-
finding
That's
me.
so crazy. You're like middle-aged.
They're also still trying to find, also like date people who are 21,
Right.
22.
And
It's
they
like,
are- yeah.
it's a little
Yeah,
crazy.
no.
Like,
Yeah,
let's be realistic.
different areas
Yeah,
in
no.
life.
As a server, I'm 25.
Okay.
And like I wait on a lot of different age groups. And I'll see them wait on me and we have a good time. And then they'll run right to like the 18-year-old, like 19-year-old girls. It's very concerning.
And that's a red flag.
Absolutely. If you're 40 running to an 18-year-old, it's absolutely a red flag.
Their child is the same age as her.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's concerning. It's concerning. I've heard them talk about their daughters, and then they run to the 19-year-olds.
Right.
But it's also like be respectful though of the things you say. Like
Right.
that's the thing that people have like really like lost is like how they speak to women in general
Right.
too. I'm also in the service industry, and so a big thing that people say is like it's like the like off the wall shit that people just say that comes to their mind, and I'm like that just kind of also sounds so disrespectful.
So wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So being in the serving business, you have a very social life for work, right? Would you say you're pretty good at spotting like a high value guy versus a low value guy?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You
so
can read people in we our job is to read people. Like
Yeah.
that's literally
Exactly.
what we're paid to do is to read you to see how you're gonna benefit from our service.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like we have to benefit. Like, are you gonna be a table who is willing to let us cuss you out? Or are you not? Like, I mean, like, you get it. Like,
Right.
can I walk by and be like, oh, no, like, fuck that?
yeah.
Or are you going to be, like, the person who we have to, like, be, like, more, like, mindful? Like, yeah, of course, sir. Like, I got you, like, time things. So we read people, like, left and right. So we
So-
can read people within the first 5 minutes of talking to you. I can read you in a heartbeat.
Right.
true.
So that's what I figured. So my next question is, what's an example? What are some things you can pick up on? Say you're at work and I'm like, dang, she's super cute. I want to get her number. What are some things to avoid to seem low value? What are some things I could do to seem high value?
I say if you leave your number, make sure you at least tip them more than 20%.
Yeah.
You're not getting a phone call back or a text message back if you don't tip more than $20.
Do you think leaving the number is a good idea in the first place, or is it too safe?
I think
Go ahead,
it's
go.
good to leave it up to the worker and like allow them to have that choice. If you were respectful and you tipped well, then yeah, leave it up to the server. If you're interested, let them know. I would love more of that.
If you actually had a good interaction with them, but if it's like I never talked to you and I just slid you my number and dipped, probably not the best
Probably
move, right?
not. If you're not giving me much to work with, I'm probably not
Right.
going to reach out. But
Your
if we
default's
had a
gonna
good
be a no.
rapport,
Yep.
if we chatted, we yapped, and you still tipped me at least 20%, yeah, I'm going to talk to you. But I've had people pay for the whole tab, like fight for it, and then
Right.
not tip me 20% and still ask for my number.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it to
Right.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, yeah, those are great answers.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. That was
That
great.
was fun.
Killed it.
Thank you.
So, what's your guys' names?
I'm Arlene. I'm Bree.
Nice to meet you guys. So, how many times a week do you guys get approached in person?
Probably like twice.
Twice.
Yeah, it depends like if we're outside or not, like 2 to 3 times.
Okay. And then, what is something these guys do right and something they do wrong? What's a good example of being approached? You know, how many of them get your number, how many of them don't, and why?
I would say just coming off like way too strong.
Okay.
Yeah. None of them get my number. Giving out your number is weird, right?
I mean, I think if it's a great interaction, you like the guy, it can go to the number. I always push for guys to get the number. I think it's the best way to get a hold of someone, but it is personal. So I understand your guys' side where you should protect it. It should be hard to get. So
I think so. I feel like a lot of men try to get your Instagram first and then your number, and that may come off like,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like dating coaches push the Instagram these days because one, you can see that he's got value, right?
If he's the right one, I feel like he'll get your number first.
Yeah, I agree. I think you should just grow a pair, get the number, and then go from there.
Because if he gets you like your Instagram, he wants to like see more of you, and like number wise, like he actually wants to get to know you first.
I mean,
That's how I see it.
me personally, I can tell right in person if I'm interested attraction-wise. Your Instagram doesn't do anything for me. The other way around, though, I think it does a lot more for you guys to see ours. If it's super cringe, if we follow a bunch of like thoughts, whatever it is. So, you know what I mean? Like, you guys go straight to the followers, right?
100%.
So, and then that being said, so what's a way a guy can stand out? If it's maybe it's out here in the Gaslamp district, what's one way somebody could stand out and get your attention?
Well, he gotta be cute though. As like what she said, and probably like not want your number or social media first, and like actually like try to vibe with you first. Good
Right.
You know, probably buy you a shot, and good, and then take it from there.
Or just offer value in general before they run up and just try and get your number.
F the phone, F the social media. Like, come get to know the real me. You know. There you go.
Exactly. So be funny or something along those lines.
Be the real you.
Funny, yeah, funny.
Gotcha. So are you guys single, looking for a guy here tonight or what?
Not looking. No. We're out here visiting. You know.
From the Bay. We're from the Bay.
Like San Francisco Bay? Bay Area? Oh, okay, I'm from Grass Valley. You know where that's at? Well, I'm like an hour and a half from Sacramento.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But anyways, well, those are great answers. Thank you. That's pretty much it. Have a great night. What's that?
Where can we find this?
So pretty much all my social medias are just this. If you want to take a photo of that, that's my name.
That's your the Instagram too?
Yeah, so this is like my actual Instagram. Where I'll be posting clips and stuff.
Okay.
I'm trying to help men be more like social, meet girls in person. I'm coming up with like a course, so yeah, all useful.
That's really cool.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, nice to meet you guys.
Thank you so much.
Brandon, nice to meet you.
Have a good day.
Cheers.
Have a good night.
See ya.